Hello and welcome back to UCL Review, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from the best sporting competition in the world, the Champions League. And I've brought along with me today the best of the best. It's Zac Jalab. Welcome back to the show, Zac. And Zac, we are kicking off with Man United PSG at Old Trafford. What went down?
Yeah, it wasn't as happy a story as it was last time when they faced each other for United fans, because Man United failed to secure top spot in Group H after losing 3-1 to PSG at home, with 2 goals coming from Neymar and 1 from Marquinhos, and Rashford netting United's 1-2. They were 3 points clear at the top after 3 wins in 4 games, including wins over PSG and RB Leipzig, and United only needed a point from their 2 remaining games to guarantee them going through to the next stages of the Champions League. And they were in pretty good form going into this game. Since that 2-1 away loss to Istanbul Başakşehir on the 4th of November, they've played 5, won 4, scored 11 and conceded just 4. But their chances of getting another win got off to a very bad start after Mbappe's shot deflected and landed to Neymar's feet, who put it in after just 3 minutes. After 23 minutes, things should have got even worse for United. Fred challenged Paredes, who stood up and head-butted the midfielder. The referee, though, after reviewing it on VAR and everything, gave him a yellow card. Normally, we see this and it's a red card, so it was a very, very odd incident for this to happen. But let's just say karma did get its revenge. There was also a very nasty challenge later on in the game, which he didn't get called upon either. Now, 32 minutes in, Rashford equalised with a massive deflection off of Danilo Pereira, his 6th in 5 UCL games this season, as many as he'd scored in his previous 18 games, so he's enjoying his time in the Champions League. Whether he's staying in it, though, will remain to be seen. In the process, he became the 2nd player to score in 3 consecutive games against PSG in the Champions League after Neymar, who scored 4. Now in the second half, United carved out some great chances. Cavani had a chip which hit the crossbar. Martial missed a sitter, arguably 2 sitters. And in the 69th minute, Marquinhos scored after a deflected shot from a corner fell to him and he tapped it home. Fred, as I said earlier, that karma was then sent off for a 2nd yellow card a minute later, despite clearly winning the ball in this instance. He actually hadn't fouled him at all. But as it is with the rulings, if you get a yellow card, it can't be looked at with VAR. Now, in the final minute, PSG broke and Neymar tapped in his 6th UCL goal of the season, his 38th in the competition and 76th overall for PSG in just 95 games. It's not too bad at all. United can be reasonably pleased with their performance, however. They had 12 shots, 5 on target to PSG's 13 and 6 on target, and it was a lack of discipline and killer instinct that really lost them this game. They have now lost 4 of their 8 home games in all competitions this term, as many as they did in 28 matches in 2019-20. But Dougie, that's about enough about United. How about PSG?
Well, it was an absolutely magnificent result for them that puts them right in the mix for Champions League qualification, obviously. So RB Leipzig won 4-3 over Istanbul earlier in the day, and that was secured via sawcloth winner. That means United, Leipzig and PSG are all on 9 points. PSG hosts Istanbul Başakşehir next week, while United need a point away at RB Leipzig to go through on head-to-head. So it looks like an absolutely massive tie. I think that'll be really difficult for United, actually. Despite their performance here, I actually thought they were good in large stretches. Leipzig have had a watertight defence so far. I think only 2 sides in Europe have conceded fewer goals than them in the league so far. But back to PSG, because there were worries beforehand about whether they would go through. The last time they failed to get out of the group when they were in the competition was 2004-05. And their early season performances hadn't been great. They've already lost 3 league games. They're only 2 points ahead of Lille, Lyon, Monaco and Montpellier. And they've lost 5 games overall, as many as they lost in the entirety of last campaign when, of course, they reached the Champions League final and they were really looking to push on this year. In this game, they had some pretty solid performances. I thought Verratti was by far the best midfielder on the pitch. McTominay and Fred looked slightly outclassed by his play at times. He made 5 tackles and interceptions, 2 aerial duels, 1 dribble, completed 92% of his passes and created a chance. Neymar, though, definitely man of the match. 1 tackle, 5 dribbles, 4 key passes, 3 shots and 2 goals. He's really come alive in this competition in the last 2 years. Now he's got his injury woes behind him that sort of blighted his first 2 years in Paris. United, though, had their chances, not least through Anthony Martial. That Cavani chance, which came off the bar, then fell to Martial. Kimpembe put in an excellent block, but there was another opportunity where Martial pretty much missed an open goal. He's now just got 2 goals and 1 assist in 10 League and Champions League games for Man United this term. Really not good enough. His XG per 90 has fallen to 0.22, down from 0.45. And it's getting to the stage now with Anthony Martial. It feels harsh to judge him on a couple of missed chances. I actually thought his build-up play wasn't too bad. But is he turning into the player we thought he was going to be when he first broke onto the scene at United? I'm not so sure. He's 24 now. He's scored 73 goals in 232 games for Man United. Admittedly, a lot of that has been spent on the left wing. But we're starting to ask questions now. Will he be quite good enough or consistent enough? It's really consistent enough to nail down a starting spot at United. In terms of the game at large, XG suggests PSG were worthy winners. They had it at 2.9 to 1.3. Next up for them, they have a massive game against 5th place Montpellier this weekend before hosting Istanbul Başakşehir. For United, though, it doesn't really get any bigger. They're looking to win their 4th successive Premier League game against West Ham this weekend before that huge trip to Germany next week. I mean, Zac, if you had to predict who's going through in this group?
Oh, you know what? If United hadn't won so comfortably against RB Leipzig, I think I would say RB Leipzig from the off. It all depends about what happens against West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if United have a shocker. I'll say United will come out victorious and progress, but I also wouldn't be surprised if RB Leipzig did them over.
Fair enough. Either way, it's going to be that loss away in Istanbul that's really going to cost them potentially in this group. I didn't think they embarrassed themselves tonight. There was some great play from Man United. There was some great counter-attacks from both sides. It was a really open, entertaining game. They just came out at the wrong end. Fred costing his side some missed chances. But yeah, not the best from United. Not the best from Martial. Do you think he's good enough for Man United? Get it in the comments down below. And let's move on to Zac's team, the Chelsea.
Yes, moving on to my beloved Blues. We won the game, but by how many goals, Dougie?
Well, by 4 in emphatic style. Yeah, they secured top spot in Group E by beating Sevilla 4-0 away from home, with Olivier Giroud scoring all 4, having an absolute field day. Now, the 34-year-old has only been given 47 minutes of Premier League action this term, but he's now netted an extraordinary 5 goals in 132 Champions League minutes. That's just one off Morata, Haaland and Rashford. He's now averaging a goal every 26 minutes in the competition. Admittedly, it's come in one game, but still, what a performance. He's now the first Chelsea player to score 4 goals in a game since Lampard in 2010 versus Aston Villa, and is now the oldest player to score a Champions League hat-trick, get this, since Ferenc Puskas in 1965.
Oh my goodness.
Love it. Chelsea had already qualified from the group after 3 consecutive wins following their draw at home to Sevilla on the opening day, and Lampard, with that in mind, made 9 changes to the team that faced Spurs. That meant starts for Emerson, Hudson-Odoi, Giroud obviously, Pulisic and Havertz on his return from injury too. And Zac, were you pleased with how basically your second string performed?
Yeah, I think obviously so. I was a little bit worried when I saw the defence. You know, Christensen and Rudiger haven't played together, I think, since we drew to West Ham last season. So that was a little bit worrying. But they were really, really good. Rudiger actually had a fantastic performance. I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right flank was unfortunate to probably not get a contribution to a goal or a goal himself. He put in some dangerous balls and some balls that should have really been put into the back of the net. I felt sorry for Pulisic a little bit because he was trying his best, but it looked like someone that was just starting to receive minutes. You kind of hope that over the next couple of weeks, as he gets more minutes under his belt, he'll start to really come out of his shell, because it felt like he wasn't 100%. It felt more like a Christian Pulisic at 60%.
Was he still sporting that magnificent beard?
He is. The old Captain America beard. It's very, very nice. And yeah, midfield-wise, we were really, really good as well. Havertz, I thought, looked really, really good, especially since this was his first long amount of minutes after COVID. But yeah, there's only one guy you can talk about, and it was Olivier Giroud. If he doesn't play on Saturday against Leeds, I don't know what more he can do. perfect hat-trick, won the penalty, scored it. I don't know if you've seen any of the goals.
I actually haven't. I was watching the United game, yeah.
Oh my lord, the first one is a great finish, taking it from his right foot to his left foot and round the keeper. The second one, a dink over the keeper, and the third one's like a perfect header. You really can't buy experience, and that's what we have there. So I kind of really hope we keep him after January.
Sorry, yeah, I thought his goal against Rennes the other day as well was so good as well.
This is it, right?
Very much a 50-50, and he just went and won it for his side. It was awesome.
We've got. There's a beauty between our three strikers. We've got obviously Timo Werner, who brings kind of pace and really good on the ball, multi-talented, can play on the left wing as well. Versatile is, I think, the word I was actually looking for. And then Tammy is this young striker who, and obviously Timo's very good at pressing. And then Tammy's also this young striker who's like this mix between Giroud and Werner.
Yeah.
Who's learning the game still and taking it game by game and improving. And then Giroud's just like this experienced guy who whatever he lacks in pace, he makes up with experience and knowledge of the game, and knowing that, I actually don't need to chase this ball, or I can wait and hold it up. It is so good for our wingers to play with someone like him, who is, in my opinion, not only the best hold up and best kind of target striker to play with, but also the best guy at attacking that front post. Whenever he attacks that front post, I think he's the best in the world at it. But if you can tell, I enjoyed that performance.
Zac certainly did, and you can understand why he's on cloud nine. I mean, this result continues Chelsea's magnificent start to the season. So since that 2-0 loss at home to Liverpool, in which Christensen was obviously sent off for that rugby tackle on the 20th of September, Chelsea have played 15 games. Get this, they've won 9, drawn 6, scored 39, and conceded just 9. They've now won 4 consecutive Champions League games on the bounce. The last time they did that was in 2011-12 when they went on to win the competition. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I don't see that happening this year. But it's been a fantastic turnaround from the start of the year when they were drawing to Southampton, drawing to West Brom, losing to Liverpool. So massive credit to Chelsea. But Zac, you're going to take you off your Chelsea horse for a minute, because what does this mean for Sevilla?
Yeah, well, as much as Chelsea had fielded a side without a lot of their star players, or their first team players, or the first 11, so was Sevilla. They were a side without Escudero, Suso, Marcus Acuna, Bono, and Carlos Fernandes. So this was a bit of a freebie, having already qualified, and in the last couple, literally in the warm-up, their keeper got injured, and a 20-year-old had to make his debut. Ooh. So they've already qualified, so it's not too bad for them in that, right? But their Champions League form has been one of a few bright spots of a slightly underwhelming campaign so far, with just 5 wins from 9 league games, including defeats to Granada and Eibar, leaving them 5th, although they do have 2 games in hand. And despite having an excellent defence with only Real Sociedad with 5 goals and Atletico Madrid with 2, conceding fewer than their 8 league goals to date. But they are struggling to score at the other end, with only 18 goals in 14 games in all competitions at the time of writing. En-Nesyri did his best for Sevilla. He had an attempt from the halfway line at Mendy that didn't go in, but there wasn't much support. Idrissi, Rodriguez and Vasquez managed just 1 shot between them. For Chelsea, Azpilicueta, the old guard, always there, a very solid right back, 6 tackles and interceptions, 2 aerial duels won, and 1 key pass. Whenever that man plays, I don't think he's ever put anything less than a 7 out of 10 performance for Chelsea. Man of the match, though, it has to be Olivier Giroud. 1 tackle, 5 aerial duels, 1 key pass, 5 shots, 4 goals. I could talk forever about this man, but we'll be going all night. Up next, Sevilla host Real Madrid this weekend in a massive game, especially with how Madrid are playing at the moment. Zidane could be in a lot of trouble. Chelsea, meanwhile, host Leeds on Saturday at 8 o'clock. I can't wait. But Dougie, mate, that's all we've got, I guess. What else is going on at EFD today?
On EFD today, stay tuned later because we're dropping a scout report on the unsung heroes of this season so far. And go check out the 10 we put out yesterday on 10 players who hate playing for their manager, a very spicy one. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us on UCL Review for this week. Let us know what you guys thought of Chelsea and Man United's performances, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.